For today's collective reading and the cosmic key, we'll be using the number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. First card, the Auric Field. On the bottom of the deck, not yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Growth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Astral projection. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the card that flew out, winter. Taurus energy. 1, 2, 3, 4. The South Node, the past. And then on the top, calling back your power. 1, 2, 3, 4. Deja vu and gratitude. So, what is this talking about? Right now, I know I've said it several times thus far, but we are going through a massive, major transformation of self, right? So, a lot of what these cards are speaking on is that transformation. The season that we have passed through is the tying up of an entire era of self. And so, what's really important at this time, if you have not yet begun to do this, or you already are, but you're not feeling like you've completed it, and you're still repeating these cycles, tying up loose ends energetically, that's what the deja vu is about, repeating cycles. So, part of this is taking notice of what's repeating. When we notice things, when we bring awareness to these things, it creates a situation where then we are able to make different decisions instead of repeating the same types of decisions. You might not make exactly the same decisions, but the energy of the decisions we make is what we need to focus on. We need to take notice of what cycles are repeating and what decisions we are or are not making that are a repetitive pattern. These patterns and taking notice of them foster growth, because we can get caught up in these karmic cycles, these lessons, where instead of understanding the repetition is teaching us things, we question, why is this happening? I thought I already dealt with this. I thought that I healed that thing. I thought that I processed it and integrated it. I'm pretty sure I moved on from it. However, use this visualization. If we employ and utilize the concept of the Fibonacci sequence, that is the spiral with which we travel along as we heal and grow and live our lives as energetic beings. So, whenever we begin a new cycle, a new adventure, we begin a new era of learning, we are at the center of a spiral. And so, at the very center is us. And the spiral is what we move along. So, we are the point that moves along the spiral, starting from the center. We get farther and farther away from that center. And as we spiral along our path of learning, we get farther and farther away from every single spiral within the center as we get farther and farther away from where we started. And from the perspective of the farther away, we see these things over and over as we travel around in a circular pattern. You follow this line and you're going to come to a point where you view it and you see that thing again, but you're at a different perspective. Every time you repeat something and you come back into terms with it and you see it again, it gives you a new opportunity to understand it from a different angle. It gives you a different perspective to view it through, because healing is not linear. Our lives are not linear, and we are not linear beings. We're traveling around these spirals, being able to witness everything from where we came in order to really, truly integrate that information inside of ourselves, how far we have come, what we have learned, the ways in which we have grown, and being able to perceive and notice that, wow, I really did do that thing. I came from here and now I'm here. When we're able to perceive that, we're looking back at the past but not living there. We never ever want to make our home there. And so it's really important to stay grounded inside yourself as you're moving along these paths. Never ever project your consciousness to the past and stay there. The past is where all of our experience lives. We take forth the lesson and we leave everything else there. Through the attitude of gratitude, looking back at the past, looking at all of these points where we have come from, understanding that everything we've ever experienced is teaching us something about ourselves or about reality or about life. It's very important at this time to call back your power from projecting your consciousness to the past or the future. Those are both places that you cannot control. The past keeps our memories so that we move forward with the lessons we've learned in the present moment. And the future is where we project our consciousness to understand possibility and probability, to then decide, is that something I'd like to manifest in my present? Yes? Okay. You take whatever information that you have gleaned from seeing that future and you bring it back to the present. We do not stay there because the future is in flux. None of that has happened yet. So, even though we live in a multiverse of infinite possibility, it's very important not to get caught up living in the future either. This creates anxiety and worry. If we attempt to assign stories to things that have not happened yet, or getting caught up in the shoulda, coulda, wouldas from the past, or the what ifs of the future, we're not present with ourselves, we're not present with our lives, and we are not in our full power. Because what happens when we live in the mind, and the mind lives in the past or the future? Everything that you choose to think about, everything that you choose to focus your perception and consciousness towards, that's you giving it power. That means that when we sit around thinking about conversations over and over and over again, or a particular person, or something we experienced, we're giving our power to that person, to that thing, to that experience. And in this way, if we are thinking about what ifs in the future too much, or projecting our consciousness backward to the past and living there, then we are giving our power away. And this is how we create that situation where we feel so tired and exhausted and drained all the time, because every single thing that you focus your awareness on is something you're giving your power to. So, a point of introspection for us is, what is it that I am giving my power and my energy to that's actually very draining and exhausting, and in some type of way unhealthy or toxic to me and for me? These are things that we can take action on. And then again, find the gratitude for being able to realize, for being able to notice. There are so many beings in this world who don't yet understand how to do these things. They don't yet understand that these are tools that they can utilize. However, you are here in this moment understanding these things. And maybe it doesn't matter how much you do utilize these things. Doesn't matter if this is the first time you've ever heard it spoken. This is awareness. This is consciousness. This is noticing. This is a privilege because at one point you were the being that did not know. You were the being that did not see, that did not hear, that did not feel. And in this moment, you are. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back for that. And find gratitude for the places that you've been when you weren't this version of yourself. And how difficult that felt, how arduous, how painful, how much suffering occurred during those times. Then connect to empathy for those that are still in that place, and find gratitude for the fact that you are not. I want you to know that I feel very, very proud of you. And if you haven't heard it yet today, I love you very much. You keep on keeping on.